At some point, life began to feel noisy, not just in sound, but in thought, in expectation, in demand. There's always something asking for your attention, a message, a notification, a decision, a reminder of what you haven't done yet. And slowly, without noticing, silence becomes unfamiliar. Most of us don't remember when this happened. There wasn't a moment where life suddenly turned loud. It accumulated. A little more responsibility, a few more voices to listen to, a constant awareness of what everyone else is doing. Noise doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it just moves in. Think about the last time you were truly alone with your thoughts. No music, no scrolling, no background sound filling the space. For many people, that kind of quiet now feels uncomfortable. Not because silence is empty, but because it leaves room for things we've been avoiding. Noise has become a kind of shield. It protects us from boredom, from uncertainty, from the slower questions that don't have quick answers. When life feels loud, it's often because we've learned to fill every gap. There's a subtle pressure behind all this, the sense that if we stop paying attention, we'll fall behind, that if we're not available, we'll miss something important, that silence is wasted time. So we stay connected, informed, alert. But alertness isn't the same as awareness. When everything is loud, nothing stands out. Thoughts blur together, feelings become harder to name, decisions feel heavier than they should. It's not because life is more complex than before, it's because we're processing too much at once. Notice how clarity often arrives in quiet moments, on a walk, in the shower, late at night when everything finally slows down. Those moments aren't accidents, they're what happens when the noise steps back. Silence doesn't solve your problems, but it changes how you relate to them. It creates space between you and the constant demands, space where perspective can form. Without that space, everything feels urgent, even the things that aren't. The loudness of life isn't just external, it's internal. We replay conversations, we anticipate outcomes, we compare ourselves to lives we only see in fragments, and all of it happens at once. No wonder it feels overwhelming. Quiet doesn't mean disappearing from the world. It doesn't require drastic changes. Sometimes it's just a few intentional pauses, moments where you don't feel the silence, where you let your thoughts settle instead of chasing them. Ask yourself, when was the last time you chose quiet? Not because you were exhausted, but because you wanted to listen. Not to anything in particular, just to yourself. Life didn't become loud overnight, and it won't become quiet all at once. But you can start noticing the noise. You can start lowering the volume, not to escape life, but to hear it more clearly. Maybe the question isn't, how do I make life quieter, but something gentler? What happens when I stop adding noise? You don't have to answer right now. Just notice what the silence brings. End.